She laughed the moment she saw him. An old man wearing worn-out boots, faded jeans, and a cheap gray jacket slowly walked into first class. A young woman named Victoria looked at her friend and smirked. "He's definitely in the wrong section." Several passengers chuckled. The old man heard every word. But he didn't argue. He simply smiled and sat down in seat 2A. Victoria rolled her eyes. What she didn't know was that less than an hour later, she would be crying in front of the entire plane. After takeoff, Victoria kept glancing at him. He didn't look rich. He had no expensive watch, no luxury suitcase, no designer clothes, just a small notebook resting on his lap. For 30 minutes, he quietly wrote inside it. Then a flight attendant walked over. The woman stopped beside him and smiled warmly. Not politely, emotionally. "It's wonderful to see you again, Mr. Walker." The old man nodded. "Thank you." Victoria noticed. Why would a flight attendant know him? Who was he? A few minutes later, unexpected turbulence shook the aircraft. Passengers grabbed their seats. A child started crying. The plane dropped suddenly. People gasped. But while everyone panicked, the old man remained calm. Completely calm. As if nothing could frighten him. Eventually, the turbulence ended. Passengers sighed with relief. Then something unusual happened. The pilot spoke, but this wasn't a normal announcement. His voice sounded emotional. Very emotional. "Ladies and gentlemen," the pilot said, "I'd like to take a moment to recognize someone special on today's flight." The cabin became silent. Passengers looked around. The old man lowered his eyes. The pilot continued. 28 years ago, I was a poor teenager who dreamed of becoming a pilot." Victoria listened. So did everyone else. "My father died when I was 15. The pilot paused. "My family couldn't afford food, let alone flight school." The cabin grew quiet. Then he said something nobody expected. "One man changed my life." Victoria looked toward the old man. Something inside her suddenly felt uneasy. The pilot continued. "He paid for my education." A few passengers exchanged glances. "He paid for my flight training." More people looked toward seat 2A. But he refused to take any credit. The pilot laughed softly. "Actually, he hates attention." Several passengers smiled. Then came the sentence that changed everything. "The man who saved my future is sitting in seat 2A today." The entire plane turned toward the old man. Victoria froze. The pilot continued. "Mr. Arthur Walker didn't just help me." His voice cracked. "He helped more than 200 young people build better lives." Gasps filled the cabin. Doctors, teachers, engineers, pilots. The old man looked embarrassed, as if he wanted the announcement to end. But the pilot wasn't finished. "Most people don't know this, but Mr. Walker sold his company years ago." The cabin listened carefully. "And instead of buying mansions or luxury cars, he spent his money helping strangers." Victoria felt her face turn red. She remembered laughing at him, mocking him, judging him, without knowing anything about him. The pilot took a deep breath. "My mother passed away last year." The cabin became silent again. "Before she died, she made me promise something." His voice trembled. "She said, 'If you ever see Mr. Walker again, tell him thank you.'" Several passengers wiped away tears. The pilot continued. "Because he didn't just save your future. He saved mine too." For a moment, nobody spoke. Then the pilot said quietly, "Mr. Walker, thank you." The entire airplane erupted into applause. People stood from their seats. Some cried. Others simply stared in disbelief. The applause continued for nearly a minute. The old man finally stood. His eyes were full of tears. He looked around the cabin, then smiled. "I don't deserve this." The applause slowly faded. The cabin became silent. The old man continued. When I was young, someone helped me when I needed it most. His voice was gentle. I spent the rest of my life trying to do the same for others. Many passengers began crying, including Victoria. When the plane landed, people lined up to shake his hand. Some thanked him, others hugged him. Victoria waited until everyone else had finished. Then she slowly approached. Tears filled her eyes. I'm sorry. The old man looked at her kindly. She lowered her head. I judged you before I knew who you were. The old man smiled. No. Victoria looked confused. He continued. You judged me before you knew my story. Those words hit her like lightning. She expected him to be angry. Instead, he offered forgiveness. Before leaving, he placed a gentle hand on her shoulder and said one final sentence. The richest people are not the ones who have the most. Victoria listened carefully. The richest people are the ones who leave something good behind. Then he turned and walked away. No bodyguards, no luxury car, no attention. Just an ordinary-looking old man. Yet he had changed hundreds of lives, and nobody on that plane would ever forget the moment. The pilot spoke.